Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you very much, Raja. Thanks for the generous words, and thanks for raising the expectations to a level I don't think I can ever meet, but I'll do my best. Indeed, it's a pleasure to be here in the great city of Toronto and to be part of this event dedicated to honoring and acknowledging the work and achievements of Dr. Roger Martin. It's really my pleasure to be here and to join those here in acknowledging your great devotion and dedication to this wonderful school. I'm especially delighted to take part in this event since I've had the pleasure of collaborating and working on a number of projects with the institutions and individuals involved in this event during my time here in Canada, namely the Rotman School of Business through my work and in cooperation with Dr. Walid Hijazi, of course with the Arab Canadian Institute through Dr. Raja Khoui, whom I had the pleasure of meeting him just as I had arrived. He took the initiative and came all the way and spoke to me in Ottawa, and we had a wonderful conversation, and from that moment on I was confident and sure that this new entity is really going to be a contribution to the Arab Canadian scene because of the wisdom and the understanding of the actual role of the Arab communities here as Canadians first and foremost with an Arab heritage. And of course I've had the privilege of working with the Royal Ontario Museum on a very pleasant endeavor in the past. Thanks of course to Mohammed Azeba, my dear and good friend, for his collaboration, facilitation of a wonderful event that we organize here, and my gratitude of course goes to the President, Chair, and others contributing from here, from the Royal Ontario Museum. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you're aware, my country, Egypt, is currently undergoing a transformative process, which is affecting every aspect of our lives. But tonight, I won't speak about events in the region as a whole in any amount of detail. Instead, I will only share a few general thoughts. First, I'd like to stress that I am extremely hopeful. I've always been aware that this process will be challenging, that progress will be uneven. Consequently, setbacks do not surprise me nor lead me to lose faith in the inevitability of the movement forward on the right path to democratic governance. I'm aware that outside observers look at the region with concern and even apprehension. That is understandable. But change of the type to which we aspire does not happen overnight and does not occur by simply willing it, nor by decision or decree. Lessons from other nations and experiences of other peoples have shown us that transformations of this scale are an ongoing process, one that must be worked towards and even fought for. And ultimately the outcome will be the product of the interactions and even confrontations between the various forces in any given society. That is why it is important to remember that what is happening in Egypt and elsewhere in the region goes far beyond simply removing a president or changing how we choose our political leaders. Rather, what we are witnessing is a complete change in outlook regarding the management of public affairs, a redefining of the relationship between the government and the governed, a reconsideration of the role of religion in public life, of the role of women in society, and of the approach to civil and political, social and economic rights, and much more. These are all complex and mostly controversial issues. Reaching even broad agreement on them will never be easy. But one of the reasons I'm confident we will ultimately succeed is that I have great faith in the youth of Egypt and in their commitment to a more fair society and their willingness to stand up for what they believe in, and to speak truth to power and to defend what is right and just, not what is politically or personally expedient. It is the pushback, I call it the pushback, provided by this generation that I think is the best guarantee that there will be no regression to the ways of old. Here it's important to note that out of Egypt's 85 million inhabitants, approximately 32%, or about exactly 1/3 of the entire population, are under 15 years of age. Approximately 42% are under 25. This younger generation is different. They are less deferential to the past and much more willing to question existing practices and in general to challenge the status quo. They not only have an attitude which is more amenable to change, but they have mastered the modern tools of learning and communication and expression. And here it is worth noting that the value of these tools, we heard so much about social media and its role in revolt, is not simply the operational or tactical tools mostly focused on in the early days of the revolution, but equally important, they are the tools necessary to bring on change, to be more productive, and in general, to better their societies. With this in mind, and having observed the events back home from my vantage point here in Canada, I've come to appreciate how much this country, and particularly through its world-class academic institutions such as the Rotman School, can be a part of this transformation. You see, when most people think about events in the region and how they can contribute, their first thought is usually how to contribute to political change. How can we help building democratic institutions, running elections, training civil society activists, and so on? This is all very helpful, but I think misses an important point. Namely that the underlying cause for revolt and ensuing struggle for political change was and continues to be essentially about creating a better, more equitable and dignified life for all citizens. This means that what is needed is assistance in the areas which serve that objective. The Rotman School is already ahead of the curve in this regard. And for that, I wish to congratulate them and to thank Dean Roger Martin for his leadership and support in this regard. They hold an annual event about business opportunities in the Middle East. They have partnerships with institutions in the region and have traveled extensively to the region. They have done outstanding work in the area of studying Islamic finance. They even have their own Middle East Business Association. This is the type of work and the nature of support needed as we move forward. Collaborations to provide better opportunities for the promising youth of the region, to help them acquire and develop the tools and skills to be productive citizens, contributing to their societies, to help them become better entrepreneurs and to create more meaningful jobs. On its part, the Arab world has so much to offer Canada. Already many Canadians of Arab origin have contributed and continue to contribute to Canadian society in almost every field. This room is full of that type of person I'm referring to. Business opportunities are abundant and the investment environment is rapidly improving across the region. Skilled labor is available and markets for products and services are growing. Corporations from around the world, from around the globe, are taking advantage of all of this. Yet, I have to be very frank, at times it seems that Canadian businesses and entities have tended to limit their interest in the oil and gas wealthy Gulf states. I sincerely hope that Canadian businesses will reconsider this approach and take another look at the region. The Middle East is changing rapidly, and no more so than in Egypt, where exactly 1/4 of the region's population lives, and which has the region's largest markets, one of the best trained and qualified and competitive workforces, as well as one of the most diversified economies in the region. The rest of the region also has tremendous potential, and a closer look at the opportunities available will show that Canada is a perfect match for most of the Middle East and can be the perfect partner as we move forward. To conclude, allow me to once again express my gratitude to the organizers of this wonderful event, and to reiterate my congratulations to Dr. Martin on this occasion, and to join all those in attendance today in expressing gratitude for his many years of service and for his dedication to making the Rotman School of Management the world-class institution it is today. I thank you very much.